What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 86 of the Bros Talking Soccer podcast, coming to you live from our parents' basement, aka Christian's bedroom. Matt, how are you doing today?
Doing well, Dave. Thanks for asking.
Christian, hello.
Hi.
There you are. Dad, how's it going? Dad's in the background back here.
Dad's very happy. Everybody's together.
Yeah. I'm working on 20 minutes of sleep, but powering through it, and so I'm excited to do this damn thing.
If anyone's wondering why I'm wearing headphones, it makes no sense because there's no sound. Right
There you
now.
go. Fake fooled you. Okay, so people who are watching on YouTube, please feel free to interact with us as we go along here. Appreciate you pointing that out. We'd love to hear from you. Matt has somewhere to be, so we're going to get right to this thing. You guys ready?
I'm ready.
Matt?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Matt's serious. He's ready to go. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 86 of the Bros Talking Soccer podcast. My name is Dave Knittel. I am here live from our parents' basement, aka Christian's bedroom, with my two brothers, Christian and Matt. Christian, how you doing today?
Every week is just a little bit more deja vu, Dave.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's exciting.
I'm doing great.
It's exciting. We're all together. This
I know,
is just
God,
fascinating.
It's just the greatest day of my life.
Yes,
All
awesome.
over again.
Matt, how are you doing?
Doing great, Dave. Little fun fact: all of us at different points of our lives have actually lived in our parents' basement.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the last one.
Yeah. Well, there's still
Coming
time.
from,
There's still
coming
time.
from
Yeah.
a forgotten child.
Hey, I can.
well, I
still
was the
end
last
up
one to
actually-
actually first move.
Oh,
Yeah,
got it.
so,
Okay. Yes,
yeah,
you will
no,
always have.
I will
that.
always have that over you.
Okay.
So don't act like you're gonna try and steal that back.
All right. We got Dad over here in the background. Dad, how's it going?
I feel like it's a flashback from 15, 20 years ago or something.
All right, awesome. We are happy to be here, guys.
Doesn't really look like it, probably.
Yeah. Guys, I'm doing well. Thank you so much for asking. I'm working on about 20 minutes of sleep, but I watched Logan on my red-eye flight and am just running on adrenaline. That movie had so much violence
It was
and
very dark.
So it powered me through the day. Had a little lull. Matt and I went foot golfing, and just picked me up, and that was great. Christian, do you have a trivia question for us this week?
Obviously. Thank you for asking, Dave. I know you've been a little forgetful with that in the past couple of podcasts, so I appreciate you remembering that piece. So, do you guys know the first player in Premier League history to score 4 goals in a game?
Okay, first player in the Premier League.
Premier League.
Okay. It's a very important fact, so appreciate that clarity. The YouTube is freezing in the background here. I'm hoping that is just a YouTube glitch and our audio is not messed up, but we'll find that out afterwards. Before we get to our topics this week, I want to plug our partner, StadiumScene.tv. So Stadium Scene is a travel website and blog you want to go check out before you go to any stadium in the U.S. They have recommendations on where to park, what bars and restaurants to check out. Christian, what else can you do on Stadium Scene?
I was not listening, so I have
That's
no idea
fine.
what you already
Matt,
said.
do you have any idea what you can do on Stadium Scene?
You go
Check
there.
out
You
other
go there.
content. All right. I tried to dish it off to them, but that's all right. We didn't prepare for that, and that one's on me. Now I'm really worried about this not functioning properly. Can we go to YouTube and see if this is functioning properly, and then I'll do my Stadium Scene read again. Anyone watching live on YouTube, if you can hear me, please send us a message because
can you hear me?
Because our stream
Seems like-
here is just a big
Looks
circle. Okay, good. Okay, so it's just my computer, and I guess that's fine.
This is why computers are going extinct, people.
Okay, so this actually gives us a great opportunity to redo our Stadium Scene thing, guys. All right, get excited. All right, are we going to be ready and prepared?
All sounds good.
All right, we going to be ready and prepared?
I mean, it might be.
Okay, all right. Awesome, thanks, Luke. Before we get to our Before we get to our topics this week, I want to plug our partner, StadiumScene.tv. So before you go to any stadium in the U.S., you want to check out StadiumScene.tv for recommendations on where to park, what bars and restaurants to check out, and bars and restaurants. I don't know why I put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable, but you want to go check them out for all kinds of reviews and recommendations. In addition to that, they partner with content creators like us at Bros Talking Soccer. Matt, what can people do there?
Check out content.
Just check out sports content.
Yes. Yeah. So they just added a new partner, Fields of Anfield Road, which is a Liverpool podcast. We have the Lads podcast on there. Game Day Tourist, who's going to be starting a podcast soon, and I'm going to be on there. So he's fantastic. Tottenham Hotspur World, all kinds of other content on there, in addition to ours. So blog posts, YouTube videos, and
Well,
what's
who's
the other one?
most important though on there?
Is it us or
It's gotta
what is
be.
it? Okay, there it is.
I mean,
Yes.
it's the only option.
Yes. And so please go check us out and go support them. So not before that. So with that all being said, I'm going to pass it over to Matt for his topics this week. And so Matt, you want to play host here?
Okay. Yeah, so first topic I want to talk about is the MLS expansion team that's coming in Miami. They're starting next season, is that correct? Or have they not officially been?
I don't think
Yeah,
they've
I still
officially
don't
announced
think-
it.
Yeah. Okay, well, today there's been leaked. It's a rumored leak. It's technically still not official, but they have a cool crest that was just dropped with black and pink as their main colors, with 2 flamingos. And I'm just wondering, do you put like a lot of stock in how a crest looks for a club? And like, do you think it's going to be? Oh, I thought you were wearing black and it was black and pink, but
I got black shorts on. If that.
yeah, stand up
No
there.
one wants to see
So
a
do you guys
crotch in the middle of the screen.
All right. All right.
So do you guys put a lot of stock in like what a crest is for a club, and does that matter like for the identity of them?
I guess I'll take this one first.
Yeah, you go first.
I think that it's important for fans, but I mean, as a whole club, I don't think it really matters too much. I think that it's just something unique that separates you, but as a whole, it doesn't really matter too much. I just think it's really something cool, and it's a differentiator for a lot of teams.
Yeah, so I don't know how much it really matters, but I really like cool crests.
Yeah.
And for me, I actually personally like the more intricate crests. So I know the trend seems to be going to more simplified crests with Juve and whatnot. I like the Union's crest is kind of a nice blend between having a lot of different elements in there, but not being overly sort of intricate and things like that. And this Miami crest, I think, does a good job of having a bunch of different elements while not being too overwhelming. And I really love the colors of pink and black for them.
Okay. Yeah, and like say like for Premier League teams and clubs that have been around for a long while, like how do you feel about them changing their crest? And like do you think that has any effect on, the fans or the support of the club?
I don't really love the idea of changing a crest. I think it really is important to the identity of a club, and that's why it's really important to come out with the right one initially. And I think that's huge because fans get accustomed to it. Other fans, like not even of your team, get accustomed to it, and it's just a whole soccer world recognizes you by that one symbol. And yeah, they recognize you based on your uniforms and everything too. But I think the crest may be the most important identifier on a club, and to change it is a little bit bizarre.
Yeah, and I don't think it should be changed every 5 years or so, but I think there is a period of maybe every 15, 20 years because clubs evolved, the game evolves, and so I don't think you should just stick to one crest forever. These teams have been around for 100 years plus in some instances, and their crest may not fit them anymore.
Yeah.
But I think if you're going to make a change, they need to involve the fans as much as possible and try to consult, as many people as possible in that decision.
Yeah, and an example of that, a couple of years ago, City, with all the money they have now, Manchester City, they kind of, they did redo their crest. And me as a fan, I didn't like it, but I understand they're kind of changing the way the club, the culture. So going forward, I don't love the new crest, but I understand why they changed it.
Yeah, I mean, Liverpool did the same thing with their crest. They have the just simplified liverbird now on their uniforms and everything. And I don't really
It's Liverbird. We had a very nice YouTube commenter on our Liverpool video. He wasn't too nice, but he pointed out that we were saying it wrong. So it's actually Liverbird. So there you go. It's Liverpool, but it's Liverbird. Because it has to do with the name of the building or whatnot. So yeah.
Okay.
So that's a little fun fact for you.
Well, there you go. So the Liverbird, which is a very important symbol, it's on the initial crest as well. So they just simplified it, and I really love the initial crest because it has the torches, which are really, really important to Liverpool's identity. But yeah, and I don't really have much else to add, but I know that they've changed it too. So I was just spinning off of that one.
Dad, any thoughts on logos or crests for soccer teams?
I'm a creature of habit.
Creature of habit?
No.
I love tradition and changing it, but I fully understand as things evolve over time, and if the fans are involved, I really think that's okay. If that's what the fans want, because that's what it's about.
All right. Anyone listening on YouTube, let us know if you can hear my dad, but he basically said you need to involve fans, and he doesn't really like change too much. So, but yeah, Matt, back over to you. Sorry.
Okay, yeah. So moving on topics, sticking kind of with Liverpool. In the last, 2 weeks or so, there's been kind of a strange argument going on between Jurgen Klopp and Sergio Ramos over the events that happened in the Champions League final. And it's kind of escalated and gone all over the place. And now I think they're kind of both backing off at this point. But what do you guys think about coaches and players, getting into fight, especially opposing coaches?
I mean, it's better that Klopp and Ramos are doing it than Pogba and Mourinho, who have to see each other every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think for me, context is important here. So if Klopp just came out and just said this out of nowhere, because I think Klopp was the first one to say something. If he just said this out of nowhere, I think that is, you fault him for that. But if he was asked specifically about this by a journalist, and then, things get lost in context and translation, I think it's a different thing. If he was just responding to a question and then Ramos only hears Klopp's answer without the context, that's how these things get escalated. So I think a lot of times what happens is we don't have the full context of these quotes.
It definitely adds something to just having a fiery rivalry between people. It adds something to the soccer world, and it is part of the culture. People are so passionate in the soccer world, and you just get caught up in it half the time. And I mean, I hate Ramos. I just don't like him as a person, especially after what happened. And it happens. That's just how it is. The fans all do not like Ramos at Liverpool anymore. Even if you liked him before, you don't like him now. He hurt Salah, and that was our chance to win a title last year. But this happens, and you don't really forget about these things. Klopp is going to keep remembering it. It will start to settle, and people will kind of stop talking about it, but you won't forget that that's what happened on that day.
Yeah, and for me, well, here, why don't you give your thoughts, because you haven't had anything to say.
Okay. I don't like, especially in the timing of it, and a World Cup just happened, and so much has happened in between. The soccer world doesn't really care about the Champions League final right now, and I don't understand why it's being brought into the light right now.
I mean, Messi brought it up today.
Well, yeah, but also it comes back to the context of it, and that's where I don't like. This shouldn't be a topic. We shouldn't be talking about this now. It's over. It's done with. Nothing's going to change.
But we are.
So yeah, we are, and that comes back to I don't know why we're talking about this. Did a journalist specifically ask him? Yeah, and so if that's the case, it's tough to fault Klopp here. But yeah, I don't think we should be talking about this. So I'm on the same page as Matt.
Because, the journalist brings it up to Klopp, and then another journalist then says it to Ramos. Klopp just said this. And then it gets lost in translation. It does not the actual just lay out the facts. So, sorry, I got distracted by Dave typing.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we got to be professional here. This is my life. This is what I have to juggle. Now you're getting a little peek behind the curtains on how this whole operation runs.
Your podcast?
Yeah, how you do your podcast. Okay, last thing I want to say about this topic. Do you guys, one of the things that Ramos said is, he kind of went after Klopp's record in finals.
I saw that, yeah.
Do you think there's anything in that, or do you think because Klopp has kind of had, weaker teams in those finals, that's probably why? Or do you think it's something he can't overcome because he's lost, how many consecutive finals?
I don't know how many it's been, but I know he's only won one, right? I think it is the record. No, I think that it's not like he can't, there's some sort of barrier. I think there's only been, I don't even know if he's been favored in any of the finals. So there, again, context is all important here.
Liverpool versus Sevilla, I would say they were favored.
Yeah, that's a good point. But no, I don't think there's a mental block here. I just think
unfortunate events and
I mean, sometimes
all the games are pretty close too that they lost. So
okay.
Yeah,
I don't think it's any mental block for him. I mean, it's the players who are really performing on the day. So they were just outclassed by Real Madrid in the last one. Sevilla just had a really good start to the second half, and the one before that, they were playing against Bayern in three of the other ones. So that's not really fair to just expect that. And I don't really blame Klopp for the results that are going. Yeah, he may have got his tactics a little better, maybe played different players during the game, but most of the time he's not favored, and the better team just won on the day.
All right. Dad, anything you have to say on this topic?
It's over my head.
All right.
Over his head.
Over his head.
All right. Well, you guys have anything else to add on this topic or any of the other topic?
You're not Dave. You're Matt.
Yeah, I know.
That was weird.
Yeah.
Matt, you did a great job.
Wow. Thank you.
You just did throw that out there.
So amazing.
Hey, guys. How about you listen to a little bit of music and join us right after this break?
Well done. Good transition, too. All right. We're flowing.
I don't even
here.
know what you're talking about.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
We got a
how many
podcast name
finals?
here.
Who are they talking? Who are you talking about?
So
Liverpool's coach.
yeah, Liverpool's manager.
They've had that many fines. They've been that
No,
many-
he was at Dortmund before.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
okay.
he's lost. I think
He's 5 in a row now.
yeah, 5 in a row.
And he's got like 1 for 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
Some
Okay,
sort of
dude.
record.
So he's just keeps bouncing around, but he keeps making the finals.
He's not really
Yeah.
bounced. I mean, he was on with coach 3 teams,
Three
but
teams,
yeah.
they were all kind of.
Oh.
It's not like he's had bad
I mean, Mainz
experiences
wasn't-
ever.
Like a big team.
Well, yeah, mine's they were all stepping stones.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean
Do
he's
you
moving
just
up the ladder.
do Premier?
No.
Or are you
No,
gonna-
no,
No,
we're
no,
talking about all kinds
We
of
talked
things.
about.
Talk about-
I mean, we talked about MLS the first
Will
time.
you ever talk about like the union and
Yeah, we've talked
what's
about the
coming up?
union.
You
Yeah, I
mentioned
don't
it.
think we have anything today, but yeah, we'll talk about the union
I
sometime.
guess maybe when it gets closer to
Yeah.
Well,
If you have anything
Yeah.
to say about the union, we can go to you.
You could just yell Dupe in the background.
Yeah.
Dupe.
Dupe, dupe, dupe,
Wait, when's the
dupe,
U.S.
dupe,
Open
dupe.
Cup final?
Sure.
The
September-
20 something.
Did you guys see my podcast topic
Yeah,
I sent
September.
today?
Yeah, the Mexican TV bribing. Yep. Okay, listeners or YouTube viewers, thanks for sticking with us. That was our little break here. You were just riffing, and Christian's gonna welcome us back. I thought you had the headphones in, and then he's gonna jump into Christian's corner, which I know we're all just so excited for.
Oh.
We're just waiting on pins and needles. Are you excited?
When am I not excited?
All right, let's. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm starting it. Sorry.
Well,
I thought you were-
whenever. Oh, wait, hold up. Yeah, let me get my timer. We got official business or whatever. All right, you ready?
I'm ready. Hey everybody, welcome to Christian's Corner. We're back at it. It's the 4th installment of Christian's Corner, and it's starting to really flow here. It's getting real exciting.
Yeah,
So
you welcomed us back hard. for
I
that
did. I know
break.
people really enjoyed the music, and
Yeah.
the YouTube watchers just enjoyed the little break they got
Yes.
in there. Are you guys ready to discuss some more topics here?
Yeah, I couldn't be more ready.
I am so excited for you. Let's get going. All right. So my first topic, of course, will be Liverpool related because why not? It's about Dejan Lovren, who Liverpool fans have had a love-hate relationship with over the last couple of years. Lovren really wasn't liked, I'm going to say, for the first half of last year specifically, and probably before that as well. He made a lot of errors, and until Van Dijk came in, he was very, very, very poor. And Van Dijk just kind of showed what a leader he is and how good he is at organizing the team because Lovren looked amazing in the second half of last year, and going into the World Cup, he even had a great performance. So he's been playing with an injury throughout the World Cup. He came back to the Liverpool camp and finally owns up to it, saying he has a stomach issue, which sounds like he had a bellyache, and I don't really know what the deal was
I think
there.
it's abdominal, right?
It
It's
is-
a muscle.
it is.
Okay.
It's a muscle injury. So he's been playing with that throughout the World Cup. He came back and finally owns up to it. And I think the Croatian doctors knew about it, but they were kind of letting him play through it. Liverpool fans have really turned on him again, and they're unhappy that he was prioritizing that. In my opinion, I'm just going to throw my opinion in there first. I really don't see that big of an issue with it. He's playing in the World Cup final. He made it that far. You're going to give everything you can up until that point. What do you think about the Liverpool fans' reactions to how it's been going, Dave?
Yes. So I think their reaction is based more on he didn't tell the club right after the World Cup. He took his vacation, he took his break. Then as soon as he came to Liverpool, that's when he informed them of the injury. And so I understand why he did that. I mean, he's played soccer for 10, 11 straight months, and he needed the vacation. But I can understand why it rubs Liverpool fans the wrong way. But for me, I cut him some slack there.
Quick, is it something that's like he's going to be sidelined for an extended
Maybe
period,
it's
or
up
is he
to
going to
3 or 4 weeks.
Oh, I mean, maybe he thought he could deal with it.
The issue is
himself.
that Liverpool have center back issues. A lot of them are out right now, and he didn't tell them coming into the season.
Yeah.
They expected Lovren to be able to hop right back in, and now they're in a position where they have to start Joe Gomez, even though during the preseason he had a couple of injuries.
What's up with Matip? Is he hurt?
Matip is injured as well.
Oh, jeez.
That's why he wasn't playing.
Did Klavan go on loan?
Klavan did not leave, but he is also injured.
Oh, okay. All right. So there you have it.
Well, I mean, would you even need to sign another center back then? Because then you'll
Yeah.
have what?
Because Klavan was
six-
Klavan's probably leaving.
okay.
So they would have replaced him and brought someone in who could come in right away. Although Joe
Okay.
Gomez looked good in that game. So
Yeah, well, like I keep harping on, I think you put almost anybody next to Van Dijk, he makes players better.
Yeah.
And so For me, I cut Lovren some slack here, and so it's not a huge deal. It's not like he's going to be out 4 months or something like that. Yes, he should have told the team, but I understand where he's coming from.
Yeah. Okay. I just like one of these tweets, so I'm gonna read it.
Go ahead.
All right. Someone said,
Give him
Lovren
proper
should-
credit.
get the tweeter.
Yeah, the tweeter.
It's called the Base Room.
Okay.
Okay. At Football Base Room.
Okay.
Yeah. I hope you're listening, guy
Yeah.
or girl. I don't know who you
Hey,
are.
yeah.
So you could be
Well,
whoever.
gender is a
Or
spectrum,
whatever.
so,
Yeah, whatever.
Gender is
Well,
a
I'm not gonna say
spectrum.
whatever you are, but
Yes.
whoever you are.
Yes.
All right. So this one is Lovren should get the same treatment as Sacco did from Klopp, not telling the club about an injury he knew about until after the transfer window shut, just so he wouldn't be replaced. Selfish. So, I mean, I think that's a little harsh. I still don't really understand why Klopp treated Sacco the way he did. I really loved Sacco. So that was a little bizarre, but I think this is being very, very harsh. But when I first read about this injury, and I saw people are saying, I kind of got on that board. I was ready to just like go and fight Lovren. So
But it wasn't. He waited till the window closed, wasn't it? He waited until he got back to Liverpool. So the
which
window was
right
still
around-
open.
like,
Oh,
it was
okay.
right
So what?
around.
They
They
didn't
wouldn't
give him
have
enough
time,
time.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if he told them after the World Cup final, to
I mean,
stay
you
up,
always gotta look out for yourself.
Well, exactly. That was exactly going to be my.
he
point.
wasn't going to be sold.
I mean,
He could have been replaced though.
yeah. I mean, I'd rather start for a team that made it to the Champions League final and then he just played in the World Cup, final. I mean, he probably feels like he should be in that position, and he's like, all right, well, screw you guys, I'm still
I
starting.
hope Klopp punches him in the stomach.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Good. I
Dad,
don't know what happens behind the scenes.
Dad, any thoughts here?
I don't think it's that. I mean, like you said, he's not going to be out that long.
Yeah.
You know,
He's not going to be out that long.
Does Liverpool have any big games in the first month?
Yeah. Yeah.
Spurs and
yeah.
Chelsea and Leicester.
Interesting. You put Leicester in there, but Spurs.
At Leicester. I mean, that's a tough game.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
And at Crystal Palace, who are our bogey team.
Yes, they are.
All right. Anything else you guys have to add on this topic
I'm
here?
good.
All right. Second topic is Petr Cech's battle with Leverkusen on Twitter. It's a little bit funny. So what happened here was, I need to find the first tweet. Sorry, I messed up. I had it up and it went away.
It's okay.
Oh, here it is.
There you
Okay.
go.
So someone tweeted, and they're at Arsenal Terji. I don't know how to pronounce the name. I'm sorry.
You can
But,
spell it, but that's
It's
fine.
Terje.
There you go.
There you go. So they tweeted Czech with a bunch of crying faces, and Leverkusen tweeted back at them and their official account and said, "We might know a guy," which is kind of funny with a bunch of dots, hinting at the fact that Bert Leno, who is the former Leverkusen goalkeeper, is on the bench at Arsenal. And a lot of people expected Leno just to come in and start because Czech, for as great as he's been throughout his career, kind of had an off season. And
So just a little bit more context. Sorry for going back to whatever Arsenal Terje's tweet.
Mhm.
It was the video of Czech almost passing the ball into his own net.
Yeah.
So yeah, we missed that little bit of context
Okay, yeah.
there because and then Bayer Leverkusen came back and tweeted a video of Bernd Leno leading a passing out of the back sequence that resulted in a Leverkusen goal. So that's a little bit more context. Back to Christian for Czech's response to that.
Yeah,
tweet.
so he tweets back and says, "We share important values which make us a big club, not only on the football side. Fair competition, professionalism, and sportsmanship are the biggest ones you teach young footballers, and it's sad to see when other clubs don't share the same values." At Bayer Leverkusen. So, do you think he just doesn't have a sense of humor? Because he reacted a little bit
Yeah, I was gonna
harshly.
say that's no fun at all. Twitter is a fun place, and is like, I hate when people take Twitter too seriously. I think like Leverkusen's known for having like a pretty funny Twitter account on the world stage. They're all, like I love.
Yeah,
I
And you
follow
saw
them,
Batshuayi during the World Cup was loving life and just tweeting
Yeah,
and making
yeah.
funny comments.
and that like I don't know how Czech doesn't understand that play that he made was absolutely ridiculous. Like he like it was nowhere near the center back he was trying to pass to and almost went directly in his goal, and there was minimal pressure. He could have taken a touch. So like the fact that he doesn't understand how funny that situation was and like how much like gold could have came out of that clip, Like it's just like why are you ruining the fun?
Yeah, just own it. Like he would have done so much better to just own it and make fun of himself. That's what Batshuayi does a fantastic job of when he punted that ball off the post into his own face.
I mean,
He
they
just-
did win the game though. You know, it's probably not fun when you lose 2-0 to City and then
I feel like
yeah.
Batshuayi would still have a funny comment to say. I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
that's true.
he's
He did
been on the
take the ball,
bench.
yeah.
So, but I just mean him as an example. Or just don't even respond from Czech. I mean, for him to take this moral high ground, like, oh, I can't believe this club is being unprofessional. It's like, kind of get over yourself, buddy. You know?
I absolutely agree. I think that he's just taking it way too seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still the starting goalkeeper, and they were just kind of making a joke, trying to get the player that they kind of brought up and made into a great goalkeeper into the limelight and just kind of talking about him.
Yeah, that was gonna be my question. So is like Czech the starter right now? I didn't know if it was just because Leno just got there, but it's like he gonna be the starter this season because
I think his days are numbered, in my personal
Okay.
opinion. Because
Czech?
he's been on the decline for years, and Leno's what, 26, and I think Czech's 36, or he's 38 and Leno's 28. I know there's like a 10, 11 year difference between them, and Leno's clearly the future of them. And so whether it's this year or next, I think it's more likely to be this year.
okay. I was surprised to see Czech in goal in the
So was I.
Yeah.
I'm not really surprised. I think that that's kind of the way Arsenal has been. They're kind of more traditional in the fact that they want to give players who have been there more of a competition and just kind of start them until they lose their spot. But I think Czech has lost his spot the way that he's been playing in the last year. And then, I mean, he didn't look great against City. I don't think he made that many mistakes other than, well,
Woo, I've been almost
Oh,
passing it into someone else.
but he's just not what he was. And I think Leno is younger and just a better goalkeeper right now.
Yeah, and it happens to everybody. Like Father Time is undefeated, right? Like it catches up to everybody, and I think
Good
that
one.
he's just at this. Thanks, I came up with it myself. You know?
Oh, yeah?
yeah.
Is that an
so-
original?
trademark hashtag? I don't know why I did
DK
this.
original?
I don't know what this is, YouTube viewers. That's trademark. Yeah, some sort of karate chop action. It means trademark. But yeah, I mean, I think he's on the decline.
Just a tad.
Yeah.
All right.
Just a smidge.
Matt, anything else you want to add?
Yeah, it's just real quick. My favorite, caption to that clip was when you're losing 8-0 to your older brother on FIFA, and it's just them passing it back, and it looks like how people do that in FIFA when they're just giving up and they're just rage scoring on themselves. And it just looks like that.
Oh, that is so good.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Yeah, that's great.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
Next topic, Dave. Anything else?
I don't have anything. Do we want to ask Dad?
Dad,
He-
would you
he
like
is-
to comment on that?
I just always think humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said own your mistakes in life. People make mistakes. Life's not perfect. And when you can laugh at yourself, it just makes it so much better.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Wise words.
Yeah, well, life advice.
Yeah.
Take notes.
Write that down. Yeah. All right. So my last topic here I wanted to throw out in Christian's corner was so this television broadcasting company out in Mexico is Televisa, and they got the rights to air the FIFA World Cup for 2018, 2022, 2026, and 2030 in Mexico, which is, I mean, a huge deal. The amount of money that you're bringing in from hosting that is absurd, and they're being accused now of
Allegedly speaking.
being accused of bribing officials to get those rights, which if that's true is just another FIFA thing. It's just pretty insane how often this is happening. And of course, it's another US coming in and bringing up these accusations and bringing them to court. But if it's true, allegedly, we have to it has to be brought up, and it has to have attention, and it has to be fixed. Other companies have the right to have the airing rights, because that's a lot of revenue that they're missing out on, and that's really not fair if a company is going behind the scenes corruptly and getting the rights to these games. So Dave, what do you think about this?
So yeah, in an ideal, perfect world, everybody
Yeah.
would behave ethically, and people who didn't, business ethics, people that didn't behave ethically,
Ethnically.
people that didn't behave ethically would be punished for those and, be stripped of that. But Qatar was basically proven to have bribed for the World Cup. They're not getting that taken away. I would highly doubt that anything comes of this beyond just a fine.
Well,
that's where I think this kind of happens.
Well, I think the difference, in TV rights and actually hosting a World Cup, I think it's easier to get rid of TV rights.
That's fair.
If you get caught with, bribing, and I will say bribery, like Christian said, in a perfect world, that company should be, fined and, the proper,
Stripped of the rights.
proper, consequences should follow. But I feel like everyone in some form is doing some sort of illegal bribery or tempting another company, and not everybody. Okay, but like it's so common.
Yeah,
and especially in FIFA, it seems to happen all the time. So it's just so hard to stop. But I guess when someone's caught, you just have to take action.
Yeah, and it's not an excuse though, right? Even just because everybody else is doing it doesn't mean it's okay for you to do it. And so I think
doesn't mean it's not.
So I think that they need to come down with more stringent punishments. I can't speak today.
Holy
20 minutes of
hell.
sleep, cut me some slack, but
No.
that doesn't excuse me for every other podcast where I stumble over my words. I completely forgot what I was saying. So yeah, that covered. I don't
Something about stringiness.
stringent punishments. Punishments. Go ahead. Back over to Christian.
Okay, so Televisia owns Club America and Liga MX, so they are a big company. They're involved in the soccer world, and they denied the allegations. I know, shocking, guys. They
Didn't
said
come
they
out and
didn't
just
do
say
it.
they were guilty.
Yeah, I know.
Whoa.
It's pretty crazy. And they said this is just an amendment on the lawsuit that they were filed against in March, which I guess
So they were already being
like, so this is just an additional point that's on top of what they're being sued for. So I don't really have much else to add. I just thought we'd bring it up. I think it was like $15 million is what they're being accused of bribing with.
Yeah.
And they already had the rights fairly to the 2018 and 2022 World Cups. They're saying this is for the 2026 and 2030 ones.
And they are the largest broadcaster, I believe, in North America. So this is not like a small company like
In Latin
this is-
America. not
Latin
North-
America.
yeah, in
Oh,
Latin
okay,
America.
Latin America. Okay, excuse me. So that actually makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was just another little fun fact from the article. I thought I'd pepper
He
in
was wrong.
there.
But yeah.
Dad, anything to add here about bribery and TV rights and all that?
Bribery.
I know. Just let me just speak.
We need a break.
Well, not bribery, but in today's world, there's so much pressure. And what have you done for me lately? And you got to win. You got that people sometimes are pushed, but there has to be consequences.
There has to be consequences.
If you're caught.
If you're caught.
No. You will be caught eventually.
And they sit until proven guilty.
Allegedly.
It all comes crashing down, Christian.
All right. So anything else you guys have to add on this?
I
Or
am
Any
good.
other topics we brought up here? No. No? All right. That wraps up Christian's Corner, the 4th installment. I hope everybody enjoyed it. And please have a nap. Listen to some music before Dave takes us away.
Don't nap too long. Dad liked it.
You know what I realized?
What's that?
We do have a similar laugh. All of a sudden, I'm over here laughing, and then I hear you laughing.
Hey, we're
It's like,
down to
oh,
one
boy.
viewer. We
That's
scared
all we-
everybody away.
How many did we have?
We had 6 at one point.
Oh.
But I mean, it's long, so we have people come and go, but that's pretty good. Okay, we ready?
Oh, dear Lord.
What?
There's so many.
Oh
listener
yeah, we have a
questions.
lot of listener questions, so I'll try to run through this
I'm gonna
pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Fire off these questions quick here.
Welcome back, everyone. It is now my turn for the last segment here. First thing I wanted to kick us off with Arsenal Fan TV. What's up, Christian? What did I say wrong?
Nothing. Just go ahead.
Arsenal Fan TV was recently forbidden from using Arsenal in their name anymore. The
Forbidden.
club came out and exercised their whatever copyright or image brand, ownership details and forbid them from using that anymore. So they have rebranded as, I think it's AFTV. Matt, thoughts on Arsenal kind of coming down on Arsenal TV here?
I mean, it's no fun, I think it showed like the voice of the fans, Arsenal Fan TV especially, but it has gotten absolutely out of control these last couple of years. I don't know if anybody has tuned into any Arsenal Fan TVs, but especially with Wenger the last couple years and how the fans, and after every loss, just seeing them in the streets and just like the reactions, it was incredible. I think it was just a perfect way to see like the absolute extremes of Arsenal, Arsenal fans. And I think, taking away the name is gonna kind of affect the show and affect the club kind of negatively, because I thought it was a great show, and I thought, Arsenal kind of taking away, the name kind of hurts it.
Okay. Christian, thoughts?
I mean, I think it's kind of stupid. I don't really know why they're making them do this. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. But what's your point?
Well, I just thought that they were a caricature of Arsenal fans, and so it wasn't a reflection of the whole fan base. It was a reflection of like the most ludicrous element of their fan base. So I think that's probably
why
you
watched it. But like, this is another thing. Like, all you Arsenal players and owners, just enjoy the comedy. Like, it's Czech too. Like, it all comes full circle. Like, remember Christian's Corner? It was great. It was a great topic. I think that it's just a little bit ridiculous. I don't think Arsenal needs to react this way. I know it's ludicrous. It's absurd. You guys okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's rubbing my ass for some reason. I don't know what's happening.
The laptop was falling.
Oh,
So we're sitting on it.
falling down.
Falling down. All right. So I think that it was just a fun show. It's not meant to be serious. Like, Arsenal just need to learn to laugh at themselves a little bit, because they are a little bit of a joke.
Yeah, that was well done. The show's not going away. So literally, this is just, they cannot be called Arsenal Fan TV, and so they've just rebranded. So for me, I'm fine with it.
Fan TV?
I understand why Arsenal did it. No, they're just AF
Gunners?
TV. Like, the AF doesn't technically stand for anything, but everybody knows it stands for Arsenal Fan TV. So for me, I understand why the club did this, because again, I think they were a caricature of their real fans. Matt, anything else to add here?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it didn't have the best, reflection of the club if you've seen this show. So, I mean, I understand if they kind of want to remove their name from that show.
Anything else?
No, I'm good.
Dad, any thoughts on Arsenal Fan TV?
I really don't. That one's a little out of my league.
No worries. Okay, let's swing. Actually, let's stick in England here with, again, fans just behaving oddly. So recently a video surfaced of Mo Salah in his car driving down what looked like a highway. It didn't look like there was a sidewalk there. There may have been, but he's driving on the road in traffic. And there are fans flocking to his car, and a gentleman filming him, trying to get Mo to roll down his window, interact with him, sign some autographs and whatnot. And the fan was basically calling Mo Salah like horrible and saying like, look how terrible he is not interacting with the fans. And then the video ultimately was referred to the Liverpool police because Mo Salah, in an attempt to not interact with these fans, he was looking at his cell phone. And so that is illegal in England. And so, Christian, your thoughts on this whole situation?
Okay, first of all, I think that I don't know if this is true, that Liverpool sent the video to the police.
I saw that too, which again is weird. Yeah, but I saw that reported too.
Maybe they just wanted to avoid a scandal, so they wanted to get it out there immediately. I mean, Firmino got in trouble for driving last year, or I think it may have been 2 years ago when he first came to England. And it's just a lot of Liverpool.
Wait, just got in trouble for driving.
What do you mean? You got in trouble for driving?
I forget what happened, but I remember he got into some sort of issue.
Hey, you can't
drive. So yeah, that broke my train of thought a little bit. But yeah, it's just been a couple of like one-off incidences, and like, yeah, I know you're not allowed to drive with your cell phone, and I mean, no one really should. Just don't do it. It's bad. You've seen those videos. People die. All right, so sorry, we got real serious. We gotta make sure.
Yes.
People have their shit together.
Whoa.
Nobody else is dying on my watch.
Okay.
All right. So
back to Mo Salah. What are we talking about?
You can't expect every player. Not everyone's going to have a great day. Like, sometimes you just want to be left alone. Players are always having fans come up to them. And I mean, it's not Gerrard. He's not from the area. He's not always going to get along with everybody. And like, he's not British. Like, sometimes you just need your space. And he is one of the stars in the world right now. And players or fans are always going to keep coming up to him.
Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with him not being British or Steven Gerrard or whatnot. But I think
I just mean Gerrard more was like just willing to talk to people because he's from that area.
Yeah, he's also like the face of kind of the club, especially when he was there. He was like the face of the club. Whereas Salah, I mean,
I don't think you could argue. But Matt, your thoughts on all this before I get mine?
Yeah, I think it's just annoying when people are trying to just like dehumanize professional athletes and not realize, just make them out into these huge stars and just kind of trap them into getting in trouble. It's just like, what are you doing? And these guys are people, especially Mo Salah, who's like one of the nicer, more restrained professional athletes. And it's just like, I don't understand why people are going after him.
Yeah, it's one thing to like go and try, and if he's not interacting with you, there's a reason for it, and just move on. Like, why do you keep pestering him and baiting him into it, and then to refer it to the police and to put it even on social media? I think it's just wrong. These guys are humans and they need personal space. And if he's driving in traffic, what's he supposed to do? Roll down his window, hold up traffic even more, sign a bunch of autographs? Like, if he can't do it for everybody, I mean, why do it for one? So for me, I think he's completely fine. And then you see, you always get then the opposite reaction of fans where they're tweeting out pictures of Riyad Mahrez on his phone or Paul Pogba driving in on his phone, and none of those were referred to the police or whatever. And it's just now this all like big he said, she said situation. And it's just like, I don't understand why this is a police matter. And on top of everything else that's happened.
I understand why it's a police matter just because it's breaking the law. But yeah, other people are doing it too.
So
and it's
if you
not
take a picture of somebody jaywalking, like, yes, that's technically breaking the law. Like, are you
yeah,
going to refer
report it. No, I'm kidding.
Mo
No,
Salah
this
is a criminal.
So ridiculous. Yeah, this is just
now
so
they're just
absurd.
trying to create witch hunts out of things that don't need to be.
Matt, anything else to add here?
He's a criminal. He should be locked up.
Dad, anything you would like to add on this topic?
He's a criminal. Should be like
All
that.
right, Dad agrees with Matt. Last thing we wanted to, nope, I did that. Okay, sorry, I went out of order on my thing, got a little confused there, but hey, I'm back
could
in.
start with last thing I wanted to.
Yeah, I know, but then I got confused. Last thing I wanted to talk about here, see, I still did it
Oh,
anyways. We're
wow,
going to come on
cute.
this side of the Atlantic, talk about MLS. So DC United recently was playing Orlando City. DC United has played the fewest games of any team in MLS because they opened their stadium late. And for that reason, they're at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. But if they win all of their matches in hand, I think they'll be in the playoffs. So that's a little bit of the context to this situation. They were playing Orlando City, which is in absolute free fall, arguably the worst team in MLS, at home, 2-2 in the 95th minute. There are 6 minutes of stoppage time added. They decide to send up their goalkeeper on a corner kick. The match is tied. There's still a minute of stoppage time. It's not, 10 seconds of stoppage time. There's still a full minute. Ball gets swung in. Orlando clears it. Orlando's got a 4-on-1 break. No keeper in the net. And who charges it down but Wayne Rooney? He comes back, slides, intercepts Will Johnson, who's just lollygagging. All he has to do is just touch it out into space. I don't know what is going through Will Johnson's mind. Wayne Rooney stops him, slides, intercepts the ball, takes out Johnson enough where Wayne Rooney comes out of the tackle with the ball, takes a couple touches, hits a long diagonal to Luciano Acosta, who is the smallest player on the field, long, lofted ball, and Luciano Acosta wins a header over the goalkeeper to win the match 3-2. One of the most dramatic, insane plays I've ever seen. Context of everything happening there. Matt, what were your thoughts on this play?
I mean, I've always kind of supported Rooney, especially as falling out at United. So it was good to see him, come off as, this hero again. The play, like you said, DC United, what was his name? Will
Johnson on Orlando City.
Oh, not DC United, yeah. Orlando City, Will Johnson. Yeah, I have no idea what he was doing. There was like legitimately 3 players wide open in the middle in 60 yards of space that he could have played the ball into and took 4 or 5 touches and just let Rooney track him down from maybe 20 yards away from him at the point where he got the ball. So it just made no sense what he was doing. The keeper, with the indecisiveness to come out, he came out like 10 yards and just decided to
Orlando City's
keeper. Yeah. Orlando City's just like didn't just stop on it. Not go back to the goal, just kind of stop and just stay 10 yards out of his goal. It was just a crazy play, and I think you tweeted comparing it to the Leicester versus Watford from a couple years ago in the championship as probably the most dramatic and crazy endings to a game in soccer history.
Yeah, and obviously the Leicester and Watford match had a little bit more on the line. That was in the championship playoffs, but the Leicester Watford match had just one and then back the other way. This was one back the other way, then back again, and so that's where it was crazy.
Oh yeah, the original header there was
cleared off the line.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, no,
so
yeah.
so like Orlando won the header on the corner, almost scored, then it got
DC
cleared.
DC won.
DC, sorry, yeah, it's craziness. You have to watch the video. We've tweeted out. Christian, you haven't said anything yet. I'd like to get your thoughts here.
I'm going to throw out that these two might be the worst teams in MLS. So it's pretty
San
pretty low
Jose,
quality.
San Jose has
not
something to
doing
say
great,
about that.
yeah. But these are two of the bottom 5 teams, I would say, in MLS right now in terms of quality of roster and just where they are in the table.
DC's making moves.
They're okay. They're not great.
Yeah.
I still think they're towards the bottom.
Yeah, that's fair.
Incredible by Wayne Rooney. It's incredible hard work. He played the entire game to keep going up in the 90th minute, close it down, knew where his angles were. Will Johnson is just a nightmare, and he's public enemy number 1 in Orlando, I'm pretty sure.
They have so many issues in
I
that
know,
franchise.
but the fact that he just doesn't chip the ball forward to like 8 runners, it felt like, and there was literally nobody else from DC back there. It's insane that Wayne Rooney is the one who had to come back, win the ball, perfect tackle so that he could get back up. It's just impeccable. It was insane, that tackle. That's the best part of the move for me. I know the ball he played in is outstanding, but the fact that he won the ball so cleanly and kept possession of it is absolutely insane. And that Acosta winning that header. Orlando, listen to me carefully. You should be embarrassed of yourselves letting the smallest guy on the field win a lofted header from that far out. That is absolutely unacceptable. Yeah, it was to steal a hat trick, so he was feeling himself in that game. But that is unacceptable to allow. For the smallest guy to win a header, to win a game in the 95th minute is absolutely unacceptable.
No.
And I know the play is absolutely incredible from Wayne Rooney, what he did. But never, ever, ever should Acosta be winning that header to score there.
Yeah, and then I know some people on social media were criticizing Luciano Acosta tripped Pino, the Orlando City player who was running out on the break. They had an advantage, and Pino actually was still the furthest guy forward for Orlando if Will Johnson just tapped it out to him. So I don't think the ref's going to call back any sort of foul there, no VAR. Again, and I also just appreciate this play. I know some people were trying to say, oh, this is an indictment on MLS because Rooney could never do this at a different level, or trying to make this play more than it was. It was just appreciate the play. It was so insane and awesome. And so I was just...
They're the worst team in MLS.
Yes.
So let's keep that in mind.
yeah, but just appreciate it. So for me, I just appreciate it. Matt, anything else to add here?
No.
Christian?
No, I'm good.
Dad, any thoughts on this play?
Well, I don't think size. I think it's the guy who wants the ball the most. I've watched you personally win balls over guys that are 6-7 inches taller. You just want the ball more.
You just gotta want it, guys. You just gotta want it.
Yep.
These are professional athletes. That should never, ever happen.
They were down 10 men too. They were down to 10 men. Orlando.
Oh,
was.
yes, they were. Yeah, they were tired. The guy was backpedaling. Luciano Acosta was coming on. So you have some excuses, but still, the ball was lofted. For me, it was more the lofted aspect and the goalkeeper not being decisive in no man's land. It's fine if Luciano Acosta wins that header. What is Bendik doing? Just in no man's land. Just absolutely no man's land. So for me, that's where it all falls down. Before we get to our listener questions, and we have a lot of listener questions and a lot of good listener questions. But before we talk about them, I wanted to give a couple quick plugs for some of my other projects. So I'm the founder of a simplified fantasy soccer website called FanFutsal. We have you select 5 teams, set 8 to 11 individual players for your weekly fantasy lineups. We have all 5 major European leagues as well as the 2 major North American leagues. Please go check that out at fanfutsal.com. Simplified, different way to play fantasy soccer. Additionally, I have a YouTube channel called The Soccer Tavern, where I make videos about the history, culture, and philosophy of the beautiful game. I have videos about Premier League club history, histories on soccer terminology. Why is it called a pitch? Why is it called a nutmeg? All different kinds of other soccer videos as well. So please go check that out on The Soccer Tavern. Christian has been on my Liverpool video, and we'll have to get Matt on a video sometime in the future. So please go check that out. Listener questions now. All right, we got a bunch. So first one coming from @WorldHotspur. This is Will. We are big fans of Will and his website. You should go check that out. If Arsenal lose to Chelsea this weekend, is there any cause for concern? That would be 0 points from the first 2 matches, or should the supporters cut Emery some slack? Christian, thoughts?
They should cut him slack. I mean, those are 2 of the most difficult games you're going to play in. City at home is the most difficult game at home you're going to have all season, and Chelsea away is an abysmal record even under Wenger.
Matt?
Yeah, I don't think it's cause for concern. I'm pretty sure this was expected. Yeah, and then the week after they have West Ham. I'm not sure if that's home or away. I'm pretty sure they have West
home.
Ham.
I think it's home, but I'm not
Okay,
sure.
yeah. So I mean, having 1 to 3 points after three matches, it's I think that's could be expected from Arsenal, and it's a transition. I mean, Wenger was there for what 20 years,
22, I think.
22
Yeah,
years. So
something like
I mean, it's expected to go through a bit of a transition. So I guess you cut Emery some slack.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with these two. Next question comes from @Regista360. Is Jose Mourinho still a world-class manager, or have Guardiola, Simeone, Klopp, Pochettino, etc. overtaken him? Matt.
I think those managers have overtaken him, but I still think he is a world-class manager to an extent. I mean, last year he still finished second in the Premier League. He made the final. Did he make that FA Cup final or the semifinal?
I don't know. I got
He made
that
the
wrong.
final.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the year before they won 2 trophies.
Yeah.
Actually, I
They
think
won the Europa
3.
League.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
they
won
won
the fake treble.
Yeah.
The B League treble.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he's still capable of winning, but he's not the same where it was him and Guardiola were the top 2 for a little bit. I think he's fallen off, but I still think he's a world-class manager.
Christian.
I think that he is a world-class tactician. I do not think he's a world-class manager anymore just because of how bad he is at man management. I think those other managers have overtaken him in terms of quality and just overall management of a team.
I still think he's a world-class manager. He just has such a defensive, interesting
So
style
rigid.
of management. Yeah. And Simeone, I guess, is comparable in that, but I still rate Simeone higher. But these other managers play a little bit more flowing, attacking soccer. That's a little bit more entertaining to watch. Next question from @Stadium Scene. How many bro versus bro fights occurred during our youth? Specifically, physical fights, any fisticuffs, wrestling, kung fu, MMA, etc. Christian, any come to mind?
I have one very, very
All
clearly
right.
in my mind. Pretty much right over where the camera is right now. I remember I went on top of Matt, used my legs to pin his arms back, and I smashed him in the face. And I don't remember why. I just remember being physically angry. And I was like, and I think that's the only time I've ever hit anybody.
Matt?
I would say we didn't get in too many fights.
Yeah, we didn't-
But,
we
but
really
That's the only time.
I got in a lot of fights with Christian's friends in the neighborhood. Me and our neighbor Vinny Mig and Casey Taddy went after it a couple times when we were younger.
Yeah, and I will say I remember one specific incident. You were like 3 or 4. You punched me in the face, and that's we were in the car. I think it was the old minivan, and I
Oh
can't
my
remember
God,
what I did
man.
or whatnot, but that was the only time. But yeah,
The blue van.
yeah, we didn't really have you guys had a lot of verbal arguments. I felt like
Oh,
you two went
no.
at
We
it.
had a lot of animosity up until like last week.
Yeah,
You hit a 4-year-old when you were like 11?
you punched me.
Okay,
I
I
didn't
was
punch you.
4. What was your reaction?
I didn't do anything.
Oh,
Yeah, I wasn't gonna hit you back because
Oh.
of
I was gonna
that.
say, I
Dave
was
doesn't get
4.
very riled up.
Yeah, well, that's not true. Okay, Mr. Merced had a really good question for us then.
Who?
Who did Mom love best? If she were in a lifeboat and could save only one, who is food for the fishes? So,
Can Dad go first on this one?
So Dad is sitting over here. Dad, any thoughts?
You mean with the dog?
Oh, true. The dog would
Yeah.
go first.
So
yeah.
we all jokingly talked about this earlier. She absolutely would save the dogs ahead of any of us. They are her babies. They will never leave her, and so that is why.
The boys
unlike
need their
yours,
own dogs.
Yeah,
Unlike
unlike
you.
me, who is on the West Coast. So yeah, let's just leave that. Unless Matt, you have anything
Oh,
you're
I
dying
have
to
a
say
thought.
here.
What's your thought?
She would save Dave. Absolutely. Oh, maybe not anymore. But she
Yeah,
used to.
yeah. At one point, that may have been true. No, I don't think that's true. I think it would be you actually.
Yeah, it
because,
probably
yeah.
would be now.
We're
Yeah,
getting
I would say.
we're getting very close. It's Christian's the one.
It's not like the first time I lived here after college when we hated each other. It's much better now.
Yes. All right. Little peek behind the Kniddle family curtains there. Last question from Jared Hancock @Jared_Hancock. That's
Hancock.
sorry, Hancock. That's what it is. What young English strikers are there coming through who could get a chance in the England squad this season? He specifically highlights Callum Wilson and Tammy Abraham. Matt, any thoughts here?
Get through with the England.
I assume he means the England national team.
Yeah,
No,
it's Tammy. It's Tammy.
Tammy.
It is
He's
Tammy
Tammy.
Abraham. I would say Callum Wilson, just because he has actually had a record, especially at the top level of producing. I know Abraham might be, sought after more and playing through Chelsea.
Yeah, but he
Well,
was on loan
I know
at
he's on-
Swansea
yeah, I know he's
last
on
year,
loan,
but now
yeah.
he's back at Chelsea.
Yeah, so I mean, he's probably has a higher ceiling because like the club and how the media perceives him. But I think Callum Wilson this year is more likely to get a chance with the England national team.
I actually am going to take a really weird one here. Okay.
I like it.
And it's from Liverpool's Youth Academy. It's Brewster. I think he has a real future, and he could break through this year. He's supposed to be back in the next 3 to 4 weeks. He's coming back from a really serious injury. But if he comes back and he gets into that lineup, he just signed a 5-year contract, and I think he's like one of the highest rated English players. And I know he's only 18, but he's really that good. He might even break through this year.
Over Solanke,
Oh, yeah,
if we're going to go.
for sure. I'm not high on Solanke at all.
So Solanke I think of those players, Tammy Abraham and Callum Wilson, I think Wilson has proven it over a
absolutely.
longer track
Yeah.
record, so I'd probably say him. But I actually think Solanke suffers from the same thing that I had with Harry Kane, where for the first couple of years I watched Harry Kane play, I didn't understand why he was good.
But he scored.
He didn't. Yeah, but a lot of times he would
Solanke
have
does
bad
not score.
touches. Yeah, but I think it's him getting up to speed in the game, and there's a reason why he was so highly rated. And so I think this might be the year where he is more involved
Do you think?
and he could break
Do
through.
you think Danny Ings is another one who could break through if he stays fit?
I don't think so. I just don't see it with Danny Ings. And for me, he's a
at
little
Southampton
bit.
now, so he's at a team where he's going to be the star
Yeah.
striker.
For me,
You
he's
never
a little
know.
bit older, and he's had 2 major knee injuries. And so for me, I think it's really tough to see him really breaking through. So for me, if we're going to go somebody
Got it.
not on this list, I would go Solanke. Matt, anything else to add?
Just on Ings, I don't see him, getting into that England national team.
Dad, anything else to add?
No.
All right.
Enjoying the talk.
All right, cool. Christian, you want to recap our trivia question? We'll
Yeah.
give our guesses.
Trivia question this week was, what player was the first player to score, well, I'll say at least 4, but it is 4 goals in the Premier League era?
Premier League.
Premier League era.
Matt, you want to give your guess?
4, I'm gonna say. You go first.
I'm going to say
actually.
Alan Shearer.
Damn it. I was gonna say sure. I'm gonna say Michael Owen then.
Wow.
I feel like that's too late. I feel like it would
I
have
feel like I read something somewhere that only
I
a
could be wrong.
handful of people ever did it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. That's wrong, both of you. But it was good guesses. He was the first player to score a hat trick.
Shearer was?
Yeah, so that's why I took it out, because it was too obvious of an
Okay.
answer. First player was Efan Okoko. I mean, he was you know who that is? He's a commentator.
Do you know
Really?
who that is?
Really? You guys don't know him?
No.
All right. He
Sorry,
did
we
it.
can't be as knowledgeable as you.
He did it for Norwich in 1993 against Everton.
Ha ha. Okay. So there you have it, listeners. Thank you so much for joining us this week. If you enjoyed what we're doing here, it would mean a lot to us if you could please leave a 5-star review. Let us know your thoughts on the podcast on whatever podcasting platform you listen to on. That would really help us out and go a long way. If you want to get in contact with us, our Twitter handle is @BTSoccerPod. Christian, what are we doing there?
What are we doing?
What are we doing on the Twitter?
Me and Dave are live tweeting all the time, and we're interacting with whoever wants to talk to us. Trust me, we will.
Yes, we will interact. We posted, so again, we had our foot golf story from Instagram posted on Twitter. So please go give us a follow there. Check out Matt and I's videos and highlights from that today.
All right, cool.
Christian was so excited that he couldn't be there.
Mhm, mhm.
If you want to get in contact with us via email, our email is bros.talking.soccer@gmail.com. Our website is brostalkingsoccerpodcast.com. You can read about us personally, check out past episodes, and so much more, including going to the Amazon store we have on the site. If you click on the store, if you're buying anything on Amazon, just click the link off of the store, and we get a small percentage of whatever you purchase. No additional cost to you, just one extra step, and it would really, really help us out. So we'd greatly appreciate that. Right, Christian?
We would just, it would make our day. It would make our year. It would make our life.
Yes. Matt, any thoughts to add?
I have no thoughts.
Yeah, he's staring
Shocking.
blankly at the camera here. I know you have to get to a fantasy draft. Matt, thanks so much for being here. We'll let you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Good luck out there.
Yeah, good luck. Christian, thank you for being here.
Dave, it's a pleasure to have you here, and it was just wonderful
I
to have
just
us all together.
Love
to do this.
being here in your bedroom, just experiencing all of this. It's been a ton
I've heard
of
that
fun.
before.
Yeah.
Hey!
Dad, you want to get in here? Dad, thank you for being here. He's
Sure.
on camera now. He's supporting the U.S. team here. So, Dad, thanks for being here, chiming in. It's always great to get you on.
This is fun.
Yeah, it's always fun.
Having a whole family in the basement again.
Oh yeah. Good times. Listeners, thank you so much for being here. We will talk to you possibly on Sunday, possibly next week. So we'll talk to you soon. But thanks for tuning in. All right. And anyone still watching live on YouTube, thank you for sticking with us throughout that whole thing. This was a ton of fun. I wish we could do this more because I just feel like it flows so much better.
You know how we could? Could ask Mom.
Yeah. Yes, I know, but it was a lot of fun, and yeah. So hopefully we'll get to do more of these, but we'll see. Hopefully we'll do one on Sunday, and at least Christian and I can be together, and maybe Dad will be on. So yeah,
Maybe.
YouTubers, thank you. We will talk to you soon. See you, everybody.